dedicated to the great outdoors. It's Southern Woods and Waters with Hugh McNaughton. Southern Woods and Waters is brought to you by Gander Mountain, Greenform Construction, the Burns Insurance Group, Cunningham Buick GMC, Nashville Marine, America's Motorsports, and now here's Hugh.
All right, welcome everyone. I'm Hugh McNaughton. I'm looking good nowadays.
And I'm Brandon Dowdy.
And we are
Southern Woods and Waters.
That's right. And you see my one unicorn look here? That's for you know, scratching the thigh.
It must be. I believe that one right there might have been a fighter.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, we've got a great show for you tonight. We have in our midst, and we're just so proud to have them. We have Nathan and Levi Wilson that own the taxidermy, Wilson Taxidermy. Guys, welcome to the show.
Hugh, it's great to be here.
I'm going to tell you something. We need your expertise, I can tell you. How many times have you had people bring in deer or in the capes and you just go, OMG.
Oh, yeah. Every year.
Every year. Well, guys and gals, we're going to help you out tonight. Brandon, what are we going to do for them?
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to actually have these guys explain exactly not only how to care for your trophy, whether it be a deer or something else,
yeah,
but before getting it to somebody like these guys. But with a deer in particular, here in the next segment, we're actually going to have Nathan get up. He is going to show us exactly how to cape our deer and where to cut them for a good mount. You know, because a lot of times people will leave the taxidermist short and he's having to stretch and fix things, or they've got cuts everywhere and they have to spend 3 times as much sewing as they would have to. So it's important to know how to cut them and have them ready to go before they get to these guys, because it's all going to ensure a better product in the end anyway.
That's exactly right. And Nathan, let's start it off. I mean, you know, I plan on going to East Tennessee, down one of those ridges where you have to use a phone to talk to your buddy down there at the bottom. But that's usually where my deer runs to, is that bottom. And I've got like a 700-foot rope, you know, I just tie it on the truck. I'm going to drag him up. Should I do that to one I'm going to mount? Never. Boy, I have seen my fair share of those, though.
Yeah.
Those that's been drugged.
Yeah.
Try not to drag them as much as possible.
Right.
Now, I know guys will and gals too that will take one, you know, and yeah, I got to drag them a little ways, you know, but drag them as least amount as you can.
Exactly.
And I always thought drag them with the hair, not against the hair.
Definitely, yeah. You always want to drag with the hair, but if there's a case, the best way is to not drag at all, if it's possible. I know there's some situations.
Now, we've used poles in the back. And when I killed a nice big one, 14 point, and we used poles. We cut a small tree that the farmer allowed me to do, but we lifted it up, had his legs tied up, and me and my buddy, we carried him out.
Yeah, that works real well.
These deer carts are nice. You know, they have the deer
exactly
carts,
right.
and a lot of people use those on some of the public land hunts that we do. And I have a friend who uses them all the time, even on his private farm. But you throw them on that cart, get them strapped in nice there, and you can conserve it that way too. No, one guy uses a wheelbarrow.
Hey,
it works great.
It works.
Hauls the deer, tree stand, everything on a wheelbarrow. But that way you don't have the drag marks and hanging in barbed wire and dragging them over logs and everything else, you know.
It does some damage to the
Then ask your taxidermist why it's missing hair, you know.
Well, I wanted to say something about, as you could tell during our first segment, when we came out, we got a mounted buck here. It's kind of unique. Has a unicorn type antler that's coming out of the, well, not actually the middle of the head, but down from the main beams. Yeah. But what I liked about the mount, not so much as the velvet and the unicorn, was that he's coming from a summertime to his wintertime coat.
Yeah, shedding probably about mid-August.
Yeah.
They'll start transition from their summer coat and start to grow some of their winter hair.
And so you can still see little patches of the summer coat still on him.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really unique look.
They really do make a nice mount. The early season bucks all the way into probably the second week in October, third week in October, or prime. If you're looking for a prime cape or a mount, it works out real well.
Now I know you guys, Nathan, you probably get thousands and thousands of mounts and stuff. I know. You have 9 full-time taxidermists.
Yes, sir.
So you're a year-round. You're not a seasonal. You're a year-round taxidermy place.
Yeah, my dad started it in 1969, and that's been our primary income for all these years, and we do it every day.
Well, y'all are good at it. I know that. But do you get people that, I know you get people that bring in deer that the cape's not any good anymore, or they've let it sit out too long, or it may have soured.
Right.
There's all kinds of things that I want to touch on tonight.
Okay.
And then we'll touch on a lot of this during the third segment. Okay. Second segment, we want to show them. And please make notes. I mean, get your pen and piece of paper and make notes, because Nathan's going to show you, if you wanted to mount a deer or have one mounted and have a taxidermist work on it, he's going to show you where to cut and where not to cut. And that's the most important thing, is knowing where not to cut. I believe, as opposed to where to cut, so where not to cut. So please get that ready, and he's going to show you. That's during the segment 2 that we're going to do. But like I was saying, some of these capes go bad. Are y'all always looking for somebody that doesn't necessarily want theirs mounted, but they might want a cape or might donate a cape?
Yes, we're always open to, a lot of guys do skull mounts.
Yeah.
And of course we always save the capes as well. And we go to a lot of slaughtering houses, some up in Kentucky, places like that. And we always keep anywhere from 40 to 50 capes in stock year round. Yeah. And because you all the time have to replace one. And usually what we'll do is notify the customer and let them know the reason of replacing that cape.
So would you say that the #1 enemy is warm weather?
For spoilage, yeah. As soon as that deer hits the ground, bacteria starts to attack that. And there's several things that increase bacteria. Blood is one.
Right.
And then excess moisture. You certainly don't want to get them wet. That's the worst thing that you can do. And then, of course, during this time, on into the 1st of November, we're dealing with the temperatures.
That's right.
So yeah, that's #1 concern is spoilage. That we deal with that a lot.
What can somebody do? What have you found in? Because my Lord, you've got the expertise. What have you found that will help you in that situation?
There's really nothing that can aid the, you can't affect the temperatures anyway once you harvest that in the field. Just being prepped and ready. If you know you're going to get it mounted, you want to get it out of the field as soon as possible and into a freezer or a cooler or something like that to get the temperature down. But the biggest thing, again, is you don't want to get blood all over it, and you don't want to get moisture.
Too
wetness.
much moisture.
Yeah, too much moisture is not good. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, we got to take a break, don't we, Brandon?
We do. What we want to tell you first, though, is just keep coming over and checking us out on Facebook. We got quite a few new people this week have come over and started following us. We've got a lot going on. Lots of people have already been sending in some pictures of successful harvest from this year already, and going to have a couple on tonight. And not just deer. We've got some guys that have been shooting some antelope. We've got a couple of elk that have been sent in to us. So keep that coming, and we also just kind of want to keep you guys in the loop about, for this Christmas, we're going to be doing a giveaway. And
it's going to be Facebook
it's going to be Facebook based. So get on over and join us on Facebook, and you can kind of follow the details of that as we go.
The main prize we're going to say is go ahead and tell it. It's going to be a
CVA has given us a muzzleloader, and we're going to be giving that away along with some other items to go with it. So be sure to come over and check us out on Facebook.
Because if you don't know, you don't.
That's right.
You don't play.
We got to take a break. We'll be right back here in just a minute.